What's up, guys? Archangel here with with E3 around the corner. I figured I would make my own little E3 prep video, a prediction video, speculation kind of video. And what I think we'll see at E3 and what I want to see at E3, because there's a lot to talk about. I'm going to like divide the showcase into separate videos, so two publishers per video. In today's E3 video, we'll discuss Microsoft and Bethesda. Now, just a heads up, I'm not going to do Square Enix because I don't really follow their what they bring to the table often. Like I don't really play a lot of Square Enix games. I won't do a video on Activision because Activision's not gonna have a showcase. They're gonna show all their games at Microsoft's and mostly Sony's conference. And also I won't be doing a Sony video because I don't own a PS4 and thus I don't really follow any games that they've been talking about leading up to E3 this year. So just Bethesda, EA, Ubisoft, and Microsoft will be getting videos. That's two videos leading up to E3. Starting things off with not EA, but Xbox and Bethesda with this video. So, anyways, the rumor has it that this year's E3, when Microsoft will be announcing a brand new Xbox One. Now, generally, when you announce a new system, it's usually like a slim version. Now, I use the term slim loosely. It's going to be a more powerful and more reliable system, but it's going to be also like a smaller Xbox that won't be as bulky. Personally, I believe the rumor is true that there's going to be a new Xbox One showed at this year's E3. I think we will see a highly upgraded Xbox. How upgraded, we don't really know. I get a sense that it's going to be pretty strong based on like some of the other rumors that I've heard thus far, which I'll get into later in this video. So there's a lot of rumors going on about this new Xbox. It's supposed to be like there's a lot of rumors it's going to be more powerful than PS4. Again, I'll get into the rumors, more rumors of this Xbox later into the video. Now, Gears of War 4 is going to be talked about and showed. Probably going to see more of the story characters, get some background info on, what the story is going to be about, what's going on in the story, all the new enemies, things like that. I don't think we'll see or hear anything about Marcus' involvement, as I think Gears of War 4 is an unofficial reboot of the series. I think it's going to be more focused on the new characters, Marcus' son, more so than just showing us Marcus again. I think if anything, Marcus might be playable multiplayer just like how his father is playable multiplayer, and he might have that similar kind of role too, where you saw Adam Phoenix every now and then, but he wasn't like a major part of your playthrough. So that's the same thing with Marcus and this new kind of like breed of Gears of War. Scalebound got delayed until early next year, which isn't too surprising considering like how massive the game's supposed to be. I'm intrigued by this game. I don't think it'll have like an amazing story, but I think that the game has me interested. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be interested in because of the fact that you can control a dragon as co-op. So there's also that too. Like anything involving co-op and dragons is going to get a lot of people's attention. And it's just a massive game, but I think we will hear about it. We get like a little more details on it, but I don't think we like see a lot. I think like for the most part, like a full-fledged little not DLC, but full-fledged gameplay trailer will be shown like at GDC, if not at this year's E3. We don't know a lot about Recore. We got like a teaser trailer last year, so if it's at this year's E3, we'll definitely see like some gameplay of it. I'm curious what it's about and how it plays. It's a brand new IP for Xbox, so it's not something that we all know about. We just have like this sense based off what the teaser trailer was last year. Crackdown 3 was much like Recore, got teased, but we didn't get more information on it than Recore did. Like we got a little bit more information. I can't say that we didn't get as much. But we did get like an idea of how the multiplayer is going to work and how like there's a big levolution. You can just show an environment and things like that. And I think like this year's E3 we're going to see like actual gameplay of the game, like full-fledged gameplay. And I think we're also going to get a release date on Crackdown 3 as well. Sea of Thieves will surely get shown. Like that's going to be like one of the cornerstones with Crackdown. Going to be one of the key features of this year's E3. Probably won't be a lot on it, but we're going to see a good deal of it. Maybe more in GDC. I don't know a lot about this game, so I do want to see more. It looks interesting, and I think it's going to be a pretty good game. It's going to be one of those games where you just like it's you and your boys have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of competitive aspects to it as well. Halo Wars 2 will get talked about. I'm not a fan of RTS games, but there's a following to it, and I think every publisher should make at least one or two RTS games just for their fan base, because there's a lot of people who play video games and there's a lot of people who might be interested in RTS games. I think every publisher, Sony, Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Activision, all of them, I think everyone needs to get into making at least one RTS games for that crowd so they can have something to play as well. Now from what I heard, the first Halo Wars has mixed reviews. A lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't like it. So I'm curious what Halo Wars 2 is going to show. I'm not really into RTS games, but I can't say that this won't be the game that they get me into it. I have to see gameplay, I have to see what it's like, I have to see what it's about. And I think this year's E3 they're going to talk a lot about Halo Wars 2. I think a new Forza Horizon is realistic. I get the sense that they will have like at least one racing game per year for Xbox One, with Motorsports and Horizon rotating each year. They both are different types of racing games. Motorsports is more of a racing simulation game, which is the one kind of game I prefer. Horizon is more arcade racer, so don't be surprised to see Horizon 3 this year and then Forza 7 next year. I think we'll see more Windows 10 integration. They'll talk about that at the E3. I think they hinted at bringing Cortana to Xbox One, so if they still plan on doing that, E3 will be the time to showcase how Cortana works on the Xbox One. And if it's basically a replacement for the Kinect voice commands, I will like that, because I think it'd be pretty cool. So instead of like saying Xbox go to Dark Souls 3, it'd be Cortana launch Dark Souls 3. I think that'd be just a pretty cool integration for Cortana to replace the Kinect. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do with it. Like I'm just speculating on saying what I would think would be a cool way to use Cortana for the Xbox One. So I'm curious. what they're gonna do with Cortana. I'm curious how they're gonna integrate the AI service into the Xbox One. I'm curious what kind of other integration you're gonna have for the Xbox One and Windows 10, because it's pretty clear they're trying to like fuse the Microsoft PC component and the Xbox component into one. So you have both Windows 10 and Xbox running on one unified server. And speaking of like that unified server, I think they might show more games that are going to be like crossplay between Xbox and PC. So we're going to see like more of that. Like we got the sense between Rocket League and Happy Wars and a few other games that crossplay between Xbox and PC. I think we're going to see even more games that crossplay between Xbox and PC. Now, before I said I talk about how powerful the upgraded Xbox will be, there are rumors that at this year's E3 we'll get a VR support for the Xbox One. Now, some of you might be like thinking, well, we already know about the HoloLens. HoloLens isn't VR, it's AR. There's a difference between both of those. One is virtual reality, the other is augmented reality. Both of them are used entirely different. HoloLens isn't even like marketed towards gamers. It's more so marketed towards marketing giants and businesses more so than gamers. Whereas virtual reality is marketed towards gamers. Anyways, the rumor is Xbox and Oculus are going to team up to give the Xbox One VR support. So maybe that be the Rift will be on Xbox One, or some kind of extent too will get the Oculus Rift on Xbox One. But in order for that to work, the console would need a serious upgrade. Like right now, even on PC, you have to have a beast of a machine to use the Oculus Rift. So if this rumor is true, the upgraded Xbox will have to be nearly as powerful as a PC that demands the Oculus Rift. Now I'm not saying that it has to be like exactly like that strong, because it could nerf the Oculus Rift to be as like on the same par of the upgraded Xbox One, but it's going to be a very powerful machine, because it's going to have to support VR support. It's going to have to support a VR that's already out, that's already high demanding. I think it'd be cool. I'm not really like into VR. So I'm not going to say like, oh, definitely going to buy the new Xbox One, definitely going to buy the Oculus Rift. I'm not really sure. I think it's kind of like a gimmick. I don't think it's something that's going to last a long time. It could. Wouldn't be surprised, because gaming is all about evolving, all about finding new ways to enjoy it. So maybe it will work out. It's going to have a lot of early adopter issues. Like if this rumor is true, and we do see it this year, I think there's going to be a lot of early adopter issues for the new console and the Oculus Rift on the Xbox One. Now switching over to Bethesda, we know we'll see Dishonored 2. This time around, we'll see like a full gameplay of it. Not just some little teaser trailer, just a little cinematics. We want to see a full gameplay of it, get a little background what the story's about and what's going on in the game. What happened with Emily, how did her training go? Maybe in this game we'll actually get a confirmation that Corvo is actually Emily's father. You kind of get that sense in the first game. There's a lot of hints about it. There's a lot of some characters like just they have like little discussion between each other, and they'll mention the fact that they think Corvo is Emily's father, because the game never tells you, but it gives you a lot of hints to believe. So maybe they'll confirm or deny it in this Dishonored game. I think it makes a lot of sense for for her to be his child, because they have like a really father-daughter bond, and you get that sense not just in watching the cinematic trailer from last year E3, but you get a sense just on playing the game itself from the last Dishonored game. Like, they're very close. Like, and Corvo and her mother were extremely close. You got that sense from that brief moment where you talk to her that her and Corvo were more than just friends, or more than just employee and employer. We'll likely see some Doom DLC. I'm not really big into Doom. I didn't really play it. I don't own it. But I know a lot of people are into it. So I think we'll see a lot of Doom. We'll see some Doom DLC. They'll show off Elder Scrolls Legends, which for those that don't know, it's like a Hearthstone game but Elder Scrolls. So I'd imagine we'll be seeing some gameplay of it and getting a hint at a release date on it. Now, there hasn't been much word on Battlecry, so if they're still in development of that game, gotta think we'll see that this year. And a lot of people probably like, what the hell is Battlecry? That was like a game announced, I think, like 2 years ago at E3, if not last year at E3, what they were talking about. It's kind of like similar to a Team Fortress kind of game, kind of like Overwatch and Battleborn. It's kind of similar to that, but it kind of like after they announced it, just been like complete ghost on discussions about it. So I think if they're still making it, it's going to be talked about this year. Maybe we get like a gameplay trailer, maybe we can make like a release date or a beta talk conversation. Who knows? We'll see. It's a long shot, but I don't wholly think Bethesda is writing off a Prey game. Now, you're probably not really sure what Prey is, because again, a lot of people are new to gaming within the last like 5 or 10 years. Prey's a pretty old game. It was back on like the Xbox 360, like back when 360 was just coming out, and just it was still a brand new console for the most part. And it was a pretty good game. It was a very underrated game. Had a lot, and then it was made by Bethesda. Had ideas to do a sequel to it, but it kept getting delayed over and over and over again, and eventually it got completely scrapped. So I don't know. Like I said, it's a long shot. I don't know if they're going to talk about Prey this year. I don't know if they still even want to make a Prey game this year. Me personally, I do want to see a Prey game. To me, it wanted to be a surprise that they announced it, because I do think that it's not entirely canceled. It's just shelved until they can come up with a way that they want the game to play out, the way they want the game to work. So it might be wishful thinking. I do hope they announce it this year, if not next year. I do want to see Prey at some point. Also, along the shot, with the success of Doom, maybe Bethesda wants to revive another old classic game. Would Quake be too far-fetched? Like, would that be too out of realm possibility? I think it will be pretty cool if they're like, hey, since you like Doom, we're gonna announce Quake, and they just give like a little teaser of Quake, and that's basically it. Then like next year 3, they say there's gonna be a beta. Basically, just follow the same process as Doom did leading up to its release. And another thing. Now this one, I think this will be like the major announcement of this year's E3 for Bethesda. Elder Scrolls 6. I keep saying it. You don't host a showcase unless you have plans to announce a major game. Now, out of all the games I've talked about thus far for Bethesda, none of those games are major games. Now, you may think, but they're all AAA. AAA doesn't mean major game. A major game is a game that's a cornerstone for a company, like Halo, Microsoft, Call of Duty with Activision, and like your cornerstone games, the games that set the idea of that publisher, that developer, games that gamers generally associate with that developer. Bethesda has Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Those are the 2 games that identify with Bethesda. They did say they want to make a third like major cornerstone title. Maybe we'll hear about that this year. But I do think Elder Scrolls 6 will be the game that they announced this year. So what if this year is that year? Like, what if this year's the year we want to get Elder Scrolls 6? Now, it might not be like a release immediately this year. It could be like early next year. Might be even next fall, but I do think we're going to get an Elder Scrolls 6 announcement. It would be pretty cool. I think it might be what wins Bethesda E3 if they do announce it, because it's a huge game, has a huge following. I really do think we're going to see the next installment in the Elder Scrolls series with not only an announcement or a teaser, but an idea of where we're going to be visiting. I got a lot of rumors have it pointed towards Argonia. I pointed out in my last video that I think we could go to another continent entirely, like Akavir, and we can also like go to like Orsinium. But I said again, sorry I'm all over the place with this video, but Elder Scrolls games are generally circled around a major event. So if we're gonna go to Argonia or Orsinium, something major has to be happening in that location. But I do think we're going to see it. Last but not least, we will see a Skyrim remastered for Xbox One and PS4. Now, many gamers have been lobbying for it, and Bethesda hasn't said it won't happen, but has said like all options are on the table. So the possibility for a Skyrim game to be remastered is likely. I think it's very possible that it's going to get that special treatment. But will it be this year? That's kind of like the question with this segment. Will it be this year? Will we get that announcement this year for Bethesda? I think it'd be great to be able to experience Skyrim again. I think it'd be pretty. I think it will greatly benefit from the Xbox One's architecture, the PS4's architecture, and just in general. Like, people want to play Skyrim. Like, there's a lot of people who still want to play the game. A lot of people who don't have the PS4s anymore, don't have their Xbox Ones anymore, and they really want to play Skyrim again. So there's that's a large group of people who would definitely buy a Skyrim remastered game for the current generation of consoles. We'll see in the coming weeks. I'm not really sure like a lot of the things that's going to come out with E3. But that's all. Like I said before, everything with this video, the upcoming video, any video you see about E3, it's all speculation. Like, don't view our videos that say like, okay, this guy's saying for a fact that this game's going to come out. This is all speculation. And this is all just rumors, and just what I heard, what someone else heard. It's not, I got word from Bethesda that they're coming out with Elder Scrolls 6. That's just me speculating that this would be the most sense-making decision to make for this year's E3 is to announce a new Elder Scrolls game. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Have a good one.